Welcome, everyone. Finally, the night has come, and we have a packed house. I wanted to welcome everyone for coming out tonight to the Untitled, number 58, believe it or not. This is the theme tonight is Get Up, and I think we're about to get up. But this is a real honor to have Nick pull this together in conjunction with the Sojourn exhibition up on the second floor. If you haven't had a chance to see it, it opened earlier this month. It runs through the 22nd of September, and it's amazing. If I might say so myself, but and I'm not sure, I think it's open this evening, and Untitled is going to go on until about 10 p.m., so after the performance you can make your way up there. Just a bit of background about Mr. Cave, hiding over here in the bleachers. But Nick has a pretty interesting background because he studied fine art at the Institute in Kansas City, and this is in the late, well, I won't age Nick, but we'll say the early 80s. And he, at that time, is a very different vibe on the campus at that time compared to what it is today. And he was working with the other students, and there were regular happenings, what they call them, dance performance happenings on campus, and very participatory kind of atmosphere. And then shortly after that, Mr. Alvin Ailey came into Nick's life, and he was able to spend a bit of time with him. And he talks about how he was fierce in his way he brought out people's inhibitions, if you will. And then shortly after that, he went to Cranbrook, and also, interestingly, in the 80s, studying fiber art, coming from performance and studying fiber art, sort of paved the way for Nick to create this genre that he's defining. I would call Nick a pioneer amongst the artists working today that are blending the visual arts, blending performance and craft. And you'll see that in the exhibition. You'll see that here in the performance tonight, in the costumes and the objects that he's created. But so this performance is the culmination of many, many months, which actually really kicked off in February. I know some of you were here at the Untitled last Friday in February, and we had 140 different people from the community audition to participate tonight. And we ended up choosing, Nick and a panel of judges narrowed it down. I know it was really tough, narrowed it down to the 15 community members who are going to be joining us tonight on stage, which is really amazing. One of them's one of our very own security guards here at the Dam. We're also thrilled to have an old friend of Nick's and a collaborator on many such performances, William Gill, who's here tonight, over here in the corner. William is a choreographer, a performer, an artist in his own right, and has been collaborating with Nick all week with the dancers. With working with Nick, and you'll see a bit of that tonight, I hope. But it's very much a two-way street. He really invites the dancers to kind of bring their own ideas to the table. And so tonight, I think it's very unusual up to this point in terms of Nick's performances. This is very much a performance lab, is what he wants to call it. Last night we had the dress rehearsals and the 3 different dance companies that are participating as well: Third Law, Wonderbound, and Cleo Parker Robinson's dance company. Last night was the first time Nick saw the movements that they put together for this evening's performance. So I think it was quite daring to really entrust the performers to kind of take some of the basic themes of the evening and come up with what you're going to see tonight. And last night they workshopped it, and I can't wait to see what they pulled together. And also, we've been listening to them. They serenaded us when we came in. We have two bands, 2 musical groups performing tonight. One of them is Double Ply Translucent Caterpillar. I'm going to start over. Double Ply Translucent Caterpillar. It's quite a name. And Their work centers around improvisational rhythms and melodies inspired by actions going on around them. So, of course, when we also auditioned many other musical groups and percussion groups, and of course we landed with these guys because they're very much about the collaborative spirit of this performance. And we're also excited to be working with Mitchell Pond, a.k.a. Man Mantis. Some of you may know him. Denver's very own, based in LA now, I think. So for those of you who haven't seen Untitled before, if this is your first time, this is a monthly late night program for adults. I think children are welcome too, but you have to be 21 at the bar, obviously. Untitled takes place on final Friday of the month, January through October, and during these nights, the museum is filled with performances, tours with a twist, I should say. Our very own chief curator is going to be up in her exhibition up at the Navajo Blankets exhibition on the second floor tonight. So I guess she's giving a tour with a twist. But and then there's often music like tonight and art making workshops, all centered around the museum's collections. So we encourage you to take a while after the performance and enjoy the rest of the program. But without further ado, Nick Cave titled this evening's performance, Figure This. So without further ado, figure this.
Hi, I'm Nick. This feels like a studio away from studio, which is great. So basically what you're going to see is just really just a series of sort of sketches. I mean, this is really sort of, when it's based around performance and really what I call movement, it's, this is how I approach it. So there are objects that I've brought to share with you that were made last weekend in Chicago. And we're just going to try them out here tonight. Last night's performance will not be what it is tonight. And that's part of this sort of working lab. There's been some shifts, changes, but that's what it's about. And there's nothing in this experience that's a final sort of conclusion. And then also what's important is that the video, not everything is about the stage. A lot of my work is about what happens in film. So I may find that, the way in which the videographer approaches his entry point in the work may offer me a different conclusion within my own work. So it's about him being immersed in this sort of experience. Right now, the two pieces that are on stage are titled Joined Joint. They're connected at the back. These two are connected on the side. So it's really about this sort of relationship with this sort of unfamiliar sort of discomfort and shift in body placement and movement. But again, I'm more interested in, like right now, to me, the video is, it's starting to become something in itself. It becomes a work of art. So I'm not necessarily interested in necessarily this, but that. And so, and again, just working with individuals that sort of, they're just listening to just words and things that I'm saying. I'm sort of allowing them to sort of find their own sort of place within the work. What is it like to be connected, and yet you don't want that kind of encounter or disposition, but you have to somehow accept it or sort of come to terms with that as the reality. All right, let's move on to the next piece. A piece that was choreographed by Will Gill, and he'll speak a little bit about what his thoughts were when working with the object. So what I did is basically I just gave him the object and said, do whatever you want. Again, for me, it's just sort of, it allows me to sort of just step outside of myself and yes, maybe I would have taken a different approach, but that's not what it's about. It's about me sort of looking at these sort of other ways and other possibilities around, again, this sort of thing that perhaps has, that relies on the body in order for it to be activated. So, Will?
So when Nick showed me this piece, I thought about protective nettings or maybe protective webbings. And oddly enough, those moms who have their children on leashes, and then they angle them back and tell them to go nowhere, you know? And with that, we asked the dancers to use or have a sense of the resistance and the tension. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the community dancers. These are dancers who necessarily don't have, who don't necessarily have training, but we gave them the adjectives and gave them what we wanted, and they convey the message. So we gave them simple moves like squats and reaches and turns and lunges, and told them to feel like you're falling off of ledges or the edges of everything. And one more layer that I cannot forget is the band. The band saw this piece one day ago, and they responded immediately. So I was like, envision you closing your eyes and just listening to the band, and you should see the movement, because the band was just that awesome. But thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Next we have Third Law Dance Theater. And then we'll have someone from Third Law address the piece.
Hello, sorry, I'm a little out of breath. My name is Gwen Phillips. I'm a dancer with Third Law Dance Theater. First of all, we'd love to thank Nick Cave and the Denver Art Museum for inviting us to be a part of this amazing experience. Whew. We're at 5280. Okay. Our artistic directors, Katie Elliott and Jim Levita, are unfortunately out of the state, so they also extend their thank you for this opportunity. What we tried to do with this piece was take existing phrase work that we've used as a company and juxtapose the giant haystack, broom, mop, whatever you want to think of these costumes, with the uncostumed dancers. So you guys could both see the lines that we were creating, the movement as it was quote unquote intended, as well as what it became when we put on these amazing costumes created by Nick Cave. And you can see how different it is and how one little move of the arm lasts for 45 seconds as the costume starts to settle. So we were exploring line and shape and canon, the idea of one and then the other and then the other. So there was this constant explosion of movement and then playing with the dynamics of that, all while trying not to fall off the stage. So I think that kind of sums it up. Is that it?
It's great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Third Law, that was fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go into a piece that's titled Midnight Madness. So I brought a pile of laundry for this piece. Ready? Go. Go. You know, what I was thinking about with that piece was, I was just really thinking about like this whole sort of consumerism and shopping and just the madness around that. And then I was also thinking about, you know, one leaving with the clothing on their back. And then this piece here titled Line. Thank you. We'll have Will Gill come out and talk about the piece. Again, I did, talking with Will, who's from Chicago as well, I said, I think I have this piece of fabric that I want you to work with. And I said it has, it's 5 holes in it. And so,
endless piece of fabric. And so what we thought about, how can we manipulate this? How many ways we can manipulate this? Also, I was thinking about duality. Obviously, the 2 different colors of the fabric, but also the duality of the textures that the fabric can make. When it's tense, how hard and stringent it could be, and then when it's in the transition, how soft and delicate it could be. So we just gave the dancers simple movements, walks, shapes, reaches, and once again, I want to thank the DJ, Mitch, who also collaborated on the first piece of mine. And then I cannot say enough about the community dancers. They came in, they showed up, they showed out, and we love them. We're going to start our own community company. Thank you.
And so, a little bit about, so for me, again, this piece is a sketch. So, I'm thinking about making this piece, but I'm thinking about making it where one side is sort of metallic, and then the other side is synthetic raffia. So, but for me to, in order for me to even envision that, I had to sort of make this sort of sample and sort of see what the possibilities are like. My voice is going. But next is Wonderbound.
Good evening. I'm Garrett Ammon, Artistic Director of Wonderbound, formerly Ballet Nouveau Colorado. And thank you, Nick, for having us be a part of this. It's been a pleasure. We put the suits on for the first time on Monday, and I think there are a couple of things that really help define the work that I tend to do. One is telling really intimate stories and using the human form specifically to do that. And so the first discovery I made was that these particular suits completely kind of obscure the human form. So I had to kind of let go of all of that and start thinking in different terms. And so what I really thought about were kind of micro and macro universes to start to define the ideas of what we were trying to achieve. And then the other part is I tend to create really athletic work and really fast work that has a lot of complicated fast movements. And so I pushed the limits this week of what I could do with the costumes, and we put them on last night for the first time, and I discovered that I had gone way too far with that. So we spent yesterday, this afternoon was kind of calming that down. And I think if we were to have several more performances over the next couple days, I'd probably keep calming it down. So it's been a really wonderful adventure.
Thank you. And so basically I'm just gonna sort of show you what, really sort of what happens in the studio when I'm thinking about an idea. So we're just gonna do a little demo here. I'm always sort of thinking, well, at first I wanted to tell you that stop on the back of that one sound suit was a toilet seat cover. Go figure. But and so it's a hook rug, and so I just get crazy when I find these things like that. And just sort of, why is it on the back of that piece? I don't know, but it works. And that's pretty much how I work. I'm just sort of moving around the country. Monday, I'm flying to the East Coast with a friend. We're gonna rent a cargo van and drive back to Chicago, but we're gonna antique all the way back. So that's how my resources are outside of my studio, which is great. So the first thing that I'm gonna put on the dancers are, I was thinking about, just volume and flow and movement with just cloth. So I went to the thrift store and just bought, first I bought 2 hula hoops. And then I just bought all of these sort of skirts. And I just was thinking about just, as they move, just sort of creating this sort of volume with them. And so basically it's just, I'm not looking for anything at the moment. It's just how does it move? What happens with the expansion of this cloth? And then I'm just sort of, I'll just find anything. So I think this was some sort of plant holder thing, but I thought I needed something to go on the head. So of course, when I make this apparatus, I will sort of engineer it properly. And so again, I'm just working with a number of, this again is just a series of skirts that I just basically sewed together again, just to sort of see what happens when this form that's moving right now starts to have an identity. This is a jacket that I found, but I like the print, and I just sort of edited it to a series of skirts, but I sort of like this as just what it looks like as a form on the body. And so once I saw these moving yesterday, I just thought, well, can you imagine if there was about 30 of these moving? I'm sure this is probably interesting as well, huh? And so this is sort of like the way that I think. So I like the fact that, my resources can be at a thrift store where I can sort of pull all these amazing patterns together to create these sort of new forms. All right, you guys, thank you. And then, and next we have Cleo Robertson's Dance Theater.
Star, James Brown. Star, sacred space, ritual. For the love of ritual. For the love sacred. Celebrate. Samba! Tiki tiki tiki.
Cleo. Cleo Parker.
Whoa! Nick Cave, look what you made us do. Oh my God, is that fun? So we started having fun last night, but I didn't know tonight would be even more fun. But I knew to show up. Nick Cave, we thank you, and the Denver Art Museum. My goodness, what a place of extraordinary creativity and a place to celebrate. So that's what I felt when I first saw the exhibit first. No, first meeting Nick Cave was deep. That was the first thing. Meeting Nick Cave and going, oh my God, and then seeing his exhibit. And then actually not even seeing the actual amazing work of art, the sound costumes, the sound, the bodysuits. And I said, whoa, those are pretty deep. And they reminded me of both a combination of Africa and kabuki. I said, this is an extraordinary range across the world. So I felt when we started working in them, we only had 2 people that even saw them or got to work until last night. And so I couldn't really set it. All I could do is give them cues. And I said, the chief, the one that I thought would be the shaman who would start actually the ritual, I said, you get to give the cues, and the cues will be the dances that we've done. And then I went to these fabulous musicians, and I want to give them a hand because they are awesome. Oh, the band. Did we ever have fun? Oh my God. So I don't ever use my voice except to give long lectures as to why we need more funding. So, but anyway, I think what happened is that I felt the spirit, and then Cedric said to me, I said, no, which one, Cedric, which one are you? I'm in the middle, and I said, so you get to give the cue. And he said, me. And then I went, well, you'll just need to be mic'd. And then I thought, if he gets mic'd, he won't be able to move in those wonderful spirits. And so then I said, well, maybe I'll give you the cue. So last night I had this fabulous idea of each musician would follow the dancer, each dancer, and they would do a little solo. It was very clean and very marvelous. And then, but it didn't happen. So anyway, but you have to start with a plan. So each one of them met, and they didn't have their costumes on. And they said, so I'm the one in this color, and I'm the one in the long one, I'm one without the top. And they did okay. And so finally, we started working, and nobody was following anybody. They were all just feeling the spirit. So then I realized, forget that. It is about spirit. And when I saw these wonderful pieces, they all brought a spirit of what our work has been, of our journey together, of art is spirit. It's very physical, but it's very spiritual. And that's what I felt. And so I went, oh my goodness. So even our coming together last night with having an audience, it was a ritual. So then I went, okay, so we're going to travel around the world. We'll start a little bit with Native American ritual, all the 4 corners. And each dancer will go to the corner. Well, that was it. That's all that happened, really. And then after that, I said, take your solos, and then I will give you cues. So rain dance is a dance we've done since 1984. And we have Milton Myers in the audience from Alvin Ailey's company all over, and who came. So I wanted Milton to just stand because that's one of the pieces we've been doing. So when I said rain, it's rain dance that we've been doing. And so honey, thank you. And then I said Kara's our new piece that we're working on right now. And Kunyang Lin is here setting it, and we really finished it today. So I knew if I said Kara, they would take some of the movement from Tara. And I did like this. Uh-oh, if Kunyang Lin sees that, that's not Tara. So anyway, but the spirit of something that we've done, taking that and then moving from not necessarily the actual choreography, but the spirit of the choreography, and then the spirit of what we feel around. So then the last one was, Brazil. And then I feel like we finished, and when you have musicians, they were just so wonderful. So I said, let's all dance. So I thought that all of the costumes would come out at the end, and I said, everybody come out. Well, I saw last night everybody takes theirs off. Okay. So we're just going to dance with the audience. And then I wanted to end up with Nick Cave in the middle, and the whole audience doing the samba to him, lifting him up in every costume that he has. So anyway, it's in my mind.
And so, I mean, it's been really quite amazing tonight. I mean, last night was amazing, but tonight has been amazing. I want to thank Wonderbound, Third Law, Cleo, for their work with the work. And then I also want to thank the 15 selected performers that we worked with. And what you're seeing right now is what's coming in July. July 19th will be Heard. Denver. So these are my little horsies. But I want to thank the Denver Art Museum for inviting me here. It's been amazing working with the staff, with the exhibition as well as this performance. And William, where are you? Is there William? You. What? No, I'm not dancing. Do you have anything you need to say?
Well, I was thinking there'd be a graphic that would come up, but so on July 19th at 8 p.m. across the street, 5,000 of your closest friends are going to gather for the Heard Denver, Heard Dam. We're going to have 60 dancers. There are 2 dancers in there in case you didn't figure that out. But so 60 dancers, and it's open to the public. It's 3 days of festivities as part of the Biennial of Americas and it's Denver Art Museum's contribution to this festival. And we're really looking forward to it and excited to have Nick back. I think Nick should just get an apartment here, but and I also wanted to thank, I forgot to mention them earlier, Open Media Foundation, Chris, and the rest of his team who are streaming this live on the internet to millions of viewers out there, and the 100 or so people upstairs watching it who couldn't get a ticket for tonight. So, and another, just to kind of continue the performance, Denver Art Museum's commitment to performance art, we also have October 18th, Kent Monkman, the acclaimed Native American artist, who's going to be in town doing a performance in this very hall to a limited number of people. Tickets go on sale July 1st, which I think is Monday, right around the corner. So seeing how quickly Nick's performance sold out tonight, you probably should get your tickets next week. And also, I also forgot to mention that we're going to gather. You're welcome to hang around because we're going to invite all the dancers to come out, sit here, and talk about their experience for about 20 minutes or so. It'll be a very informal talk back, and thank you all for coming out. Good night.
Okay, I want to personally thank all the performers. You all are performers. For your time, your generosity, It was amazing. The pieces were like really fabulous to see. And I really appreciate you taking out the time to sort of experience my work. But I just want to sort of move the mic around and sort of give, if you've got, you feel like you have something that you want to sort of say around the experience, feel free to do so. And then say your name as well.
Hey, my name is Meredith. I think the very first thing that kind of...
You can sit down on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
The first thing I really felt when I put on this suit, I had full black above and full blue pants below. And just standing, I felt very powerful. And the weight coming down on my shoulders felt very... It was easy to feel grounded, because you just felt more. And so that was really fun to play with just by being still. And then as soon as the movement came in, the first thing you felt was a little bit of weakness, because it is so powerful, the suit itself. So that was vulnerable and fun to play with as well.
Hi, my name is Damien. And when I first put on the sound suit, I felt like the Raphael was growing out of my skin, and it made me try to figure out movement differently, because it looked different when I saw my peers moving around, and I was like, okay, so this is another part of me. This is not just a suit anymore. This is something that I have to be, and that's the experience that I had with the sound suits.
My name is Sarah Tallman, and I'm a dancer with Wonderbound. And the first thing that I noticed with the suits was the weight. And I really loved that feeling of all of that weight. And again, it made me look at my movement a little bit differently. And the other thing I noticed was that I had to let the suit move me. I couldn't move the suit. So I needed to let that kind of partner me and climb my way in and out of the way that I like to move and the way we move Wonderbound.
My name is Marion. The first thing I noticed about my suit was the color. So I got to wear the pink one, which is really like a happy, pretty, kind of wild color. And that's kind of different from who I am, because I'm really shy and reserved. But at the same time, like being in that suit and being so covered by all of that material, it gives you this kind of freedom to do big and crazy things. And then this performance tonight, it was kind of like an out-of-body experience, because you have a kind of fear of not really knowing where you are in the space, but then also at the same time being very aware of where everyone else is. So it was kind of scary, but it really pushed me to be hyper-aware of everybody else around me.
My name's Corbin. I'd have to say one of the things that I really noticed and was kind of intriguing was it was definitely an out-of-body experience, but we had such a short time to actually try out the suits, and with doing that, you learn so much about your own body, about your own technique, and just exploring, because those suits did become a part of your body, and after you take them off, you're like, I actually kind of want to get back in and try some more of that movement, give it another shot, but it was such a short time. I mean, you discover so much, it's really incredible.
Thanks. Let's switch sides over here.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Silas. I actually accompanied the Cleo dancers as a djembe player. And I will say, as from a musician's perspective, and I'm sure the band can speak a lot to this, but it's one thing to say that you're playing a rhythm for somebody, or that you're playing to, especially dancers. But when there's the curvature of the body is changed to emulate these creatures that don't necessarily resemble humans, then I had to kind of absorb a different playing style, or more or less a different receiving of the style of dance that was happening, and take that into its own musical, perspective. And I think that was my favorite experience, was trying to say, this is the shape of the music for this vision and this idea and this image, and not, it was no longer just the body of a human and just the language of a dancer. So.
Hi, my name is Antoine Lewis. When I put on a suit, it made me feel free, and I felt like an eagle.
Clearly. Hi, my name is Ray. But the first time that I even saw the suit, it was like, oh my gosh, weave. I'm not gonna lie, that's like what I thought. So many colors, so beautiful. I thought that it was genius. Put it on, it was super heavy. Me and one of the other dancers, we were like, oh wow, how are we gonna move in this? But it was awesome. It was like that, the whole grounded thing that they're always like preaching to us about and everything. It made me feel like I was a completely different type of dancer. It brought different types of movement out of me that I would never even do. You know, it's kind of sad having to say goodbye to it. Wish I could have one in my closet.
Hello, I'm Christopher. When I first put on the suit, I was like, I don't know if I can breathe. But I think the suit, it was a spirit to me. It was like more, it like took me over. Like I lost myself in the suit and in the movement. And I did begin to use different steps and hear different rhythms, and even the music. Like if it was slow down, then I started to move different with the music. And it really took over me. I felt like I was like in a different mind, different body, but I really enjoyed it.
I'm Roxy. I have to say that I felt like a giant in the soundsuit because I'm a really small person. So it was like, whoa, okay, this is really weird, different. Okay, the head is so huge. So I had to like hold my center most of the time when I need to bow down or go back because the form of it is so loose on my body. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to adjust this so it doesn't look crazy on me? But it was such gorgeous moments dancing with the suit. And also it's really long, so I had to be careful with my feet to make sure that I'm not tripping over myself. So I was very careful, you know, planting my feet where it needs to be. But it was really cool moments, and I loved it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Chris. With my suit, it allowed me to feel very connected because the people that I was dancing with, some had full suits on, some had half suits. We just, Antoine and I just had the pants. So in looking at the people around me, they didn't become people. They almost became statues or spirits or totem poles or anything that you could think of that others would go to worship. And so for us, it became this form of ritual for the company. It became this form of ritual or ceremony or worship, anything that you would describe, to go into a place to be healed or to be changed or to be, you know, whatever you needed in that moment. So it was a very unique and amazing experience, and I think we all wish we had one more time or one more opportunity to even discover something different, because I know for myself I felt something different yesterday than I felt today. And so if you had that other opportunity, it's like, okay, what would we explore again, you know? So.
Hello, my name is Sadia Imari, and I'm with the Cleo Parker Robinson Dance Ensemble. And I thoroughly enjoyed this experience of wearing these suits, you know, thinking dancer, oh, it's a costume, but it was so much more than that. As everyone else said, the suit had its own energy, its own personality, the colors, each suit was individual, but we were all connected because we were, all the hair and our colors played off of each other. And so we had a structured improvisation with our suit. So letting the movement be the suit. The suit is moving, not Sadia wasn't moving, but the suit was dancing. And let Sadia go and just be the suit. And it was such an amazing out-of-body experience to share with the other dancers. Watch all the other dancers come on stage and just to see, oh my gosh, they're getting dressed, they're transforming. It's so, oh my goodness. And then for us to put on the suits and all of us, we just kind of transform. It was Lovely. Thank you for yes.
You're welcome. Evening, I'm Cedric Hall. So I guess basically like putting on the suit, I just had to remove myself from thinking tendu or backbend or split because it didn't allow me to do so. So it said, what else can you do with your body in this suit? And afterwards, it's kind of, you're not even thinking about what your body can do in the suit as much as you're thinking about what to take on in the suit, or how your mind is moving in the suit. That's what it is for me. It wasn't my body moving, it was my mind going, my arm can do this. It just shakes. It just shakes. It just shakes. But it looks nice because it's shaking. So it was awesome. It was awesome.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Let's go back over here.
Good evening. My name is Mason Lawrence Taylor, and I'm part of Third Law Dance Theater. And I think what was really important for me was twofold here. One, there was the compelling and profound experience of wearing the sound suit, which is exceedingly unique. And two, something that we got to experience tonight is we got to get a really nice reminder of how important it is to cross lines within the dance community and within the art community, because we have everyone here. I mean, artists, musicians, lighting, costuming, just there's so much to it. And this was such a wonderful reminder of how we should do this more often and how enriching it is. So thank you all.
My name is Paige, and the thing I really noticed about the Soundsuit, particularly last night and tonight, having an audience and being up here with other dancers, is particularly with our Soundsuits, I feel like you were in this kind of internal space because the fabric was far away from my face and I couldn't really see. So it kind of created this very private world that I felt like I was inhabiting while still being on stage and performing, which I felt it was a very unique experience of being separate from who I was dancing with and from the audience, but also having to be so aware of where they were in space. But I just thought it was really interesting standing up here tonight and feeling like I was just inhabiting my own private world inside the suit. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Tara Reinders, and I loved being in the suit so much because I am kind of told to tone it down a little bit sometimes, because I'm like a little bit of a flailer. Yeah. So it felt really nice, like I could just go for it, and I felt like I had to go for it even more in order for everybody to recognize, but probably not. I probably was the one who like, stop bouncing. But so that was really wonderful. The other thing that I loved about it was I could see, maybe more than the rest of you guys, I could actually see the guests here that were a part of it, and so I was like really engaging, but they couldn't see me. And so it was just wonderful to watch everyone's expressions out and around, so that was lovely, because I don't really ever get that chance when performing to really see how people are responding, so that was nice, because they didn't know that I was watching them.
My name is Gwen Phillips. I had the unique experience of being up here without a sound suit tonight. I did get to try it on and try the movement last Friday. It was very heavy and a little claustrophobic, so I'm not too sad I didn't get to wear one tonight. But I thought it was really cool how we created the piece. We had to basically act as if we could only see in one plane, and we couldn't use our peripheral vision, which as dancers, like we rely on all the time. So we had to be very, very specific. Okay, now everybody's gonna face this way, and then when this dancer comes here, we're all gonna turn around. And we had to make it look like it was intentional and not just like a survival mechanism. And also Michelle and I, she had to leave, we got to be the sheepdogs tonight, making sure nobody fell off the stage or went somewhere they were not supposed to. But we got to interact with the sound suits from outside, which was really cool, fluffing them up and hugging them. And it was great. Thank you so much.
My name's Jamie. When I first put the sound suit on, it felt like it was kind of working against my body, just the way it was pushing on my shoulders, and honestly the hardest part was standing still in it. So once we got out here and got to start moving, that was a lot better, because that's, to me, on my body, what the sound suit wanted to do. It took the pressure off my shoulders and all that stuff, but the motion of having the heavy weight way above my head and the way it could guide my body and weight was felt really good to do rather than just standing still. Yeah.
And so these are all the non-dancers. Great.
My name's Laura Burchard, and as you probably know now, I work security here in the day. And rocking it for the dam. You know, I have to say I'm very honored. It made me feel like I'm part of something on so many different levels. It's kind of hard to. I don't want to be one of those crybabies like in all those reality shows. Oh my God, it's so wonderful and emotional. You know, but I want to say I was very honored to be in the lab pieces, because I know many people are very, you know, being in the suit is a very exciting thing and all that, but everything has to have a beginning and an evolution, and I feel like getting to be in those lab pieces, you are the paintbrush for the artist. Like you're allowing the artist to see where he can go with his pieces, so you're sort of part of an evolution, and I felt very honored to do that and be part of that. And my wonderful partner in our two-piece routine there, I was able to feel my body like in a way I'd never felt my body before. Like I'm living in a body. This is our sound suit that we live in every day. So it was letting me live in my body again and be around people and be connected in a way I never had before. So thank you.
My name is Jessica, and I think the best part about this unique experience is the community we sort of created within like 2 days and 5 hours. It was kind of magical and super great. Thank you.
My name is Faye, and I said this the other day, this is exactly what I needed in my life right now. Thank you, all of you. This is awesome.
My name is Marcy, and I teach high school art here in Denver, and I'm gonna have like the best what I did over the summer story ever. So I just feel so lucky and honored and fortunate to have experienced what just happened. It's amazing. It still feels like a dream. Ever since I auditioned and got chosen, I've just been on cloud 9, so it was awesome. Thank you.
My name is Mary Beth Hamilton. I was a dancer growing up, classically trained in tap, jazz, and ballet, and then I considered myself a non-dancer for about the last 20 years. I just recently left my career of 13 years as an educator in the public schools, and this is my first immersion back into considering myself a dancer and living the life of a dancer. So thank you, Nick Cave, and thank you for the music. For that, to have structured improv, and to have the suit that you're wearing making the sound, but then the music that is being created, generating the sound from the way they see you, it's a really exponential experience. Thank you.
My name is Lisa. I'm a preschool teacher, and this week, and then also just listening to people talk, I've been thinking about the way that what we wear and the weight that we have on us and the ways that our bodies are allowed to move, like if the ways that our bodies are restricted, changes not just other people's perception, but how we perceive ourselves, and we can create new identities within that, and have new identities sometimes created for us within that, and that's been really an interesting thought for me to have this week.
My name's Heidi, and I really appreciated the growth that I felt throughout all this, like as an individual and as a group. And I feel like I even lost some of the concentration on myself, which is beautiful. Like I love and really appreciated how Nick called them sketches, what we were doing. And that kind of took a lot of the, I don't know, whatever I felt like pushing down on me or thinking that I wasn't doing my part. I was really just, one brushstroke. That's it.
My name is Matt. I'm a high school student at East High School, self-taught dancer, And I thought this was a great honor to like become a living work of art. You know, I love doing the net. I love being the back end of the horse. It was a physical challenge, but I enjoy a challenge. And I just thank everyone here. It was a blast. It was nice to meet you all, and I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life. And I have bragging rights.
My name is Emma, and I know this was just so different than anything I've ever experienced. It was really incredible and very fresh, and kind of I felt a lot of growth in this. Thank you. It was really fun.
Hello, my name is Marcus, and it was really great to be here. Part of the labs. I think the best opportunity was for me to actually put on a skirt. So that was really cool. It flowed really well. And then, as Nick described, when you put the hoop skirt on, it became the object. But once you put the headpiece on us, and Evan and I totally transformed into this whole different persona. So, and to your point, I was able to watch everybody in the crowd. And as a dancer, you don't get to see a lot of faces and a lot of expressions. So that was really refreshing and peekaboo-like. So it's kind of cool. So.
My name is Jordan, and just want to thank everyone for allowing me to be in this different world for a few days. I work at a wastewater treatment plant, and it gets a little boring. So it was nice to just be here for 3 days and, move around. So thank you, everyone.
My name is Mitch, and this is also completely unlike anything I've ever done. And I think what was really great is the pieces I was in with the net and the horse, is there wasn't really independent action. It was everything was part of a larger whole, and working together with other dancers. And that was really cool. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Haruna, and I was the front of the horse, and I just loved interacting people, looking at children to adults, like they were so happy and they're smiling, and I felt like my interaction with Mitch, feeling Mitch's hand on my waist, and just communicating through non-verbal way without looking at each other, and just trusting that he's here, and just making just touching everybody's lives in a way, and having that opportunity, it was such an honor. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, double mic, girl.
For me, the whole process, and by process I mean 3-4 days, was really neat to be surrounded by really structured dancer movers and really erratic movers, and kind of coming together and learning that none of it's wrong. So it kind of felt like you could go and do anything, and it didn't matter what you did, it was perfect. So I felt like I could do no wrong. And it was because of the way that y'all kind of guided us, coached us, or didn't coach us through it.
I'm Chanel, and the two pieces I was in with the silent one and the Midnight Madness, it really helped me to take a step back and look outside of myself. Because so often when we're dancing, we're focused, okay, I have to do this, and I have to like this, and I have to be like this. And when I'm in the silent piece, you don't have any music, you have nothing to go off of, and you're just kind of like, okay, I need to move with this other person that I can't look in the eye, I can't do anything but feel your presence, and so that was a really cool experience, trying to be like, okay, there's something bigger outside of myself, and I need to focus on all of my other, community, and just kind of make something happen. So that was kind of a really cool experience for me.
We're the musicians. Okay, let's put you...
This is Greg. He's the one who coordinated the most out of all of us together. He said that next time something like this happens, he's hiring someone else to do it.
No, not to just have someone organize 8 crazy weirdos, get them together.
What time do you have to be there? Read the text. But personally for me, the experience has been, I think my friend who came yesterday, he kind of summed it up the best. He was like, everything that was happening on stage, in my ears, in front of me, inside of me, was connecting, and it was an expression of something he was trying to tap into. So he described it as cosmic alchemy between the performance and himself. So, and that kind of correlated to what we were doing up there, because we were watching, but we were also like, you know, feeling, and it was really about like trusting your intuition, and any sort of thought that came up, like, oh, I should probably do this. Like, that was the moment where it's too late and you couldn't do it. And it was just more like letting things flow to be like, oh, there's that noise, and you know, of course, then there's Ike behind us making that. Am I making that noise? Is he making that noise? What is? It was good. Yeah, thank you so much. Just we're very grateful that you chose us to do this.
Yeah, it was really cool. It kind of felt like the law of attraction, because this was a thing. We have an art gallery, and we did something. We were trying to do this. This is what we were trying to do like a year ago, and then it was cool, but it wasn't quite like this. You know, I was trying to get all like my friends that play in different kinds of bands together, and just be like, let's just kind of be stressed out for a second and just try to figure out what we're doing in the moment, and then kind of come together and relax and have people dance and have lights and do play music with each other, but with other arts, you know, like with dancers and lights. And it was cool that we got to do this. It was pretty amazing.
Great. Where's Mitch? Is he gone?
Mitch.
Mitch may be gone. You know, you guys, it was really, well, Will, you know, I want to thank you for you know, just being part of my craziness, you know. But what? What's it like working with me? Just tell the truth. He said wonderful.
It forced me to work in a way that I've never worked before, because as a trained dancer, you have so much structure, and so, you know, this has to be that, but Nick requires you to work in the present moment. And nothing is ever like wrong. You know what I mean? So I want to take it right back to you and thank you for exposing me to new people, new experiences, new cities, new countries, everything. Come on. But it's just been beautiful. And what I really got out of this experience is working, and I keep saying working with the community dancers, because they keep saying, oh, we're non-dancers, or we're not this, we're not trained, but the same principles that we have as trained dancers, you guys had instinctively. You know what I mean? So kudos to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just can't say thank you enough, Nick.
Yeah, so thanks, Will. But, you know, it's, you know, for me, it's, you know, I really don't, you know, I sort of try to sort of keep myself as open as possible, because you know what, I never know what may be, where that revelation may sort of occur within my sort of process of being an artist. You know, tonight for me was, it was everything that I could have possibly imagined. You know, it's not, I'm not sure if you know, I'm more interested in movement, and at the end of the day, it comes down to conviction. Is that, you know, I need to know that you have owned that moment, that you have surrendered to the moment. And if I can feel it and the conviction's there, I really can't ask for much more. And and I'm not necessarily, yes, I know dance, but you know, but I may not know the emotion. that comes along with it. And I think that here it was just this sort of amazing sort of platform for just ideas around possibility. I mean, it's endless. The possibilities are endless to make something fabulous. And tonight was a proven sort of factor here. I mean, for me to just sort of like hand over Soundsuits to people, I don't know you all, but to be open to that as another possibility for me to think in this other way. And I think what happened Thursday sort of really shifted, turned everybody upside down. It was a different reality tonight that was not here on Thursday. And I think with the experience of encountering everything that was going on, everyone just sort of thought differently and came at it differently and came at it with a different sensibility and delivered in this sort of extraordinary way that was magical. So it's interesting that, if we had a third day, I would have just flipped everything upside down. You would have been in suits, you would have been in some of the other things, and just sort of, or mixed everybody up, probably first. Because, again, it's amazing to be here and to realize that you all live here, so you all can keep this way of working open. I mean, you're with companies, but you don't have to do everything with your company. You can work outside and do independent projects. Why can't you? I mean, so there's opportunities of collaborating and merging and coming together and, again, just sort of doing, just sort of sketches, experimenting, playing around. Because at some point you all have to find your own way in this world. So we'll leave it at that, right? Good luck and thank you again.
Thank you.